7th of July, Friday, 7 minutes to 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Two of them going to be in relation to two new ICOs, and I'm going to give you a little bit of heads up what they're about and reasons why I'm actually going to be doing videos on them, giving you a little bit of disclosure on why I've selected to do these two. But today's video is going to be just a quick one. I was signed up to Bitcoin Talk the other day, only just to get a grasp of what this whole forum's about. It's not something that really attracted me initially. It seems a little bit hard to get my head around these forums, only because I haven't really been an active member in here. But I came across a particular thread and it caught my eye because it was talking about EOS and EOS ICO scam. Now, I'm not going to call out anyone. I mean, on the video here, there's obviously identifications and things like that, but it's not my job to go and call out people and make them accountable. That's not what this video is about. What I wanted to do is just cover this particular reference to whether or not EOS is a scam, and what my interpretation of what their claims are. Now, I'm going to read out just this little post, and the title is EOS ICO Scam. Wow, can you believe this? Arrows. Looks like some arrows or some little angry, I don't know what they are, little red things, look like chilies. But okay, just a little recap on the EOS fraud. Number one, there is no EOS platform as yet. We are talking about a fork of Bitshares. Again, there is no functional platform whatsoever as yet. In other words, a mere promise is being sold. True, there is no platform. However, there's an understanding of the code. The same development team that was responsible for Bitshares and Steem, which are very highly successful platforms on the graphene, is also involved with EOS. So there's history there. There's also quite a lot of discussion in the EOS Telegram, where in particular Dan Larimer is very, very transparent. He answers pretty much most of the questions as best he can. I mean, he can't be in there 24 hours, 24/7, and he's been very, very transparent with all of these type of questions. Now, there is absolutely no doubt that this is an investment into a promise. It's into a concept, it's into an idea, it's into a project. And it's not the first time that this has been done in regards to, if it's like any particular businesses evolve from ideas, and when you look at the life path of a business over a period of time, let's say 10 years, there is no way that most businesses represent the same platform or the same representation as when they first started. Some businesses fail, some businesses do really well, some businesses evolve and sculpt their businesses into what's required for demand, and I think that for me, I'm invested in EOS. Now, does that make me stupid? Does that make me part of a scam? Does that make me silly? No. What I did was I researched into the development team. I researched into the idea. I researched into the entire concept and what I believe is going to be required for the future. Now, who else was going to develop something like EOS? Well, guess what? It hasn't been done before. The two fastest pretty much blockchains in this whole crypto space are, guess what? Bitshares and Steem. So the guys who are behind those two are behind EOS. So guess what? From a point of view in regards to investment, there is no doubt that I was going to invest in something similar. I don't really care if it's a fork of Bitshares. It's his code. It was what he developed in the first place. So if he wants to fork his own stuff, then so what? So yes. Investing in an amazing promise. So that does not make it a fraud and does not make it a scam. Number two, 1 year long ICO to collect a significant percentage of the entire ETH supply. Nobody would ever need this much money to create the platform. Astronomically more money is being raised than would ever be required. First day of 350 more days, only 181 million, and he's got an ICO addressed here. So yes, there is a lot of money being generated. There's a lot of money generated on the first 5 days. But where's the reference to how much money is actually required to run a worldwide platform that's going to deliver seamless and an amazing opportunity for dApp developers around the world to change the internet and change everything we know in regards to decentralization. I think the motto for EOS is decentralize everything, so they're looking broad. Now, anyone that's been in business, there is no such thing as not having enough money. If you want to talk about marketing, you want to pay, you want to get the best brains and the best development team behind you, you want to have enough cash flow for the upcoming months, you want to be able to survive through the first 2 or 3 years of business. Is never easy. Doesn't matter if you've got lots of money or you're just starting off in your own small business. It's always a challenge, and if you don't have the funding, there is no doubt you're going to struggle. So what was the goal here? Were they meant to come forward with a specific budget and request a certain payment plan to achieve that perceived amount of capital? In some ways that could have been done, but guess what? The reality of the ICOs is that hasn't been done. It's been up to the investors to deliver what they feel that they wanted to invest in based on a certain amount of tokens. I mean, the tokens is what we're buying into, and there's a certain amount of tokens, and some ICOs have set certain prices. With EOS, it was up to us to set the price. So what was the difference between, let's say, Ethereum did the same format for this particular ICO, valued at what, $300 right now, or similar? Guess what? I guess what they would pull in a lot more money than what EOS has, and you know, the current value of EOS at this stage is only around about, I think it's around about $3.80 US, and it's going up and down. Compare that to $400 or $300 a share for Ethereum. So you can see that it's not a true reflection. Where, as an investor, we're actually determining the current value. If anything, I see this ICO as a brilliant idea, and you know what? That's just a part of the genius of Dan and his team. If they pull a huge amount of money from this, there's no doubt in the years to come they're going to have to make themselves accountable one way or another and declare where they're putting a certain amount of money. But at the end of the day, it's what they want to do with it. And if they can pull this off and we get the end product, and as an investor we make an amazing return, and EOS goes to $1,000 US, I'm probably not going to be too upset. And so, is it a scam based on the fact that they're generating lots of money? No, I think they're just very, very clever. Number 3, creates a fake sense that EOS is a true competitor to Ethereum, but in reality EOS as of now is a simple token run on the Ethereum platform. Well, yeah, that's true. Like any startup business, would they ever be a true competitor to any other competitor if without any track record? I mean, how do you become a leader in the industry? And that is having a track record. I mean, if you look at Dan Larimer, he's got Steem and Bitshares. I mean, I'd say, well, that's a good start. Are they comparing EOS to Ethereum? I don't think so. I think the investors are doing that. I think the fan base is doing that. I think the supporters and the people in the Telegram would be doing that. I think that's a fairly natural thing to do when you're talking about this type of platform, and it's you know, for dApps and smart contracts and those, or smart assets. And so you could almost say that AntShares is very similar. You could say that there's quite a lot of other platforms, and even Bitcoin's going into smart contracts. So is Bitcoin a competitor to Ethereum? Yes. Is AntShares looking to become a competitor to Ethereum? So how is EOS any faker than any of those others, just because they don't necessarily have a running platform? I mean, this is a project. It's like investing into a Kickstarter. And you've seen, well, I think most people are familiar with Kickstarter. There's a lot of products and different concepts, and people invest in it, and then they go and create a prototype of the program or whatnot, because they're generating a certain amount of funds, and you get something in return. There is nothing fake and nothing fraudulent about that, because that's up to the investor. I mean, an investor will perceive their own value. So I do believe EOS will be a true competitor, but we'll only make that determination once they're live. Number 4, uses ETH raised in the ICO to generate fake price and fake demand on exchanges. Now, there is some addresses showing some money moving from the ICO through to Bitfinex, but that's it. I don't see any other proof in investors who would have bought this, and they're using the arbitrage and probably some bots and things on the exchange platform. How does that affect the development of this program? I don't think it does. I mean, as an investor, you've got to make a determination of what you feel is a good price. Now, some people are buying at a slightly higher price on the exchange, but guess what? They don't have to go through the process of my Ether wallet and all. It's quite a little bit complicated, and some people aren't as diligent to follow that process. So guess what? You'll have to pay a bit more. That's just the way the world works. It's a choice of service, really. Now, and I will quote this. I was in the Telegram when it happened. Someone did question Dan Larimer about the money, and he said straight up, no, we're not doing that, and we are being audited to prove it. So I think you'll find that Dan and the team at Block One are playing the game very straight and narrow. I mean, they've already made it very clear that US investors can't get involved, and they've gone to all that diligent legal, covered all the parameters. And I mean, if Dan's going to come out and be very active in the group and be very transparent and say things like that, I trust him at this stage. I feel that he's got a lot more validity than others, because if there's a face, he's got his family name, he's got his father. Would he put all of that at risk just for some money? I mean, I don't think that he's already got the money. That's the thing. This is about creating one of the best products in the world, and it's going to change the world, and I think that's something worth fighting for. So does that mean that what he does with the money makes it a fraud or a scam? No. Again, investors put the money into the system, and what they do with the money after that is up to them. All we want from an investment point of view is we want to see value from the share or the token, and we would like to see a platform that's going to deliver on the promise as seen on the website and through the videos and all the other information that's very readily available on steemit.com and EOS website. So feel free to go and check that out. Number 5, let people buy in, milk the crowd. Who doesn't know better? Now, I'm not sure why he's got that as number 5. Does that make it some people are ignorant, yes, and I do think that the ICOs have generated a little bit too much energy. There's no doubt there's some corporate interests getting involved, and they're really, and I think from what I can see, they've pulled money out of the stock market. Some of these big boys, and they've gone and loaded up their wallets, and they're spreading and diversifying across all of these platforms. And these people have got a lot more money than us. That's what you've got to remember. Just because there's $200 million goes into one of these projects, that's because the blockchain technology and the possibilities in the future are huge. So much more than, say, an individual entity or a product or something like that. This whole concept is $1 trillion industry. So the big boys and the people who are educated, the people who are deciding to invest their wealth, and I'm talking about wealth with a lot of zeros and beyond our comprehension, are spreading and putting their money into these particular ICOs, and that's why we've seen such big numbers. I mean, someone like me who's only got a certain amount of money, I'm not going to make a massive difference to the end of an ICO's final total, am I? I mean, there's got to be big players involved, especially when you consider that the cryptocurrency market is only around about 1% of the entire financial markets at this stage. There's not too many people actually involved. There's about 3-4 million people across the world are actually involved in cryptocurrencies at this stage, which was a survey which was done, I think, last month, and that's obviously going up. But some of those people have got, like I said, got a lot of money. So at the end of this, it's got EOS is a very nifty scam to enrich their founders with Ether. This is what it's all about. We can safely say that there has not been a scam as advanced as EOS in the cryptosphere up to now. This is an entirely new level of insanity. Look through it. Yeah, go and research it. Go and look through it. They are earning Ether from it, but that's what you're doing. You're buying tokens. We have those tokens. They're in my wallet, and there's no doubt there's going to be, and I feel there'll be an exchange at the right stage. When EOS is launched, I think you'll find that there will be an EOS token, or there will be something specific to the EOS platform in itself. But you know what? The advantage here with Dan is that he's got track history. He's got a very strong following in his Steem blogs and his Telegram. He's obviously got a face. He's out there, and I mean, he's not hiding. So as a scammer, I think there's a lot of scams and frauds that you see that they don't necessarily come out and show themselves too readily as such as the Larimer family has, and Block One's put their name to it as well. I mean, there's some big signs there that I think that people are just either want to make a name for themselves in these particular blogs. And no offense to this writer, I'm not here to cause any battles, but you wrote it, it's in a public forum, and I'm responding to it how I feel and how I want to, and I don't feel that EOS is a fraud, but you know what, we'll find out at the end of the year. If I lose my money, so be it. That I take responsibility for that decision, and if they come up with an amazing platform, as I feel that they will, and the world has changed by something as amazing as EOS, and I make a very, very, very healthy return on, and I already have. I bought it on day one, and I'm already up. What is it? Almost 6. You got to take all of these emotional rants with a grain of salt. Good on them for making so much money, and they're going to make more money than they're going to come up with the best product in the world as well. So that's all I wanted to share with you. A little bit of a rant. It was just something I came across. I thought, stuff it, I'll do a video. Let me know what you think. I think you've got to look a little bit further past just the money, and it's not. People do things beyond money, like they do want to make differences on this world, but unfortunately with this capitalist society, you need money to do so. And I think that's what this is all about. It's creating the ultimate opportunity to generate the necessary funds to ensure complete success. So that's how I look at it. Have a good day. Got some more videos coming soon. Let me know what you think on my Steem and my YouTube. Thanks, guys.